Kia kaha Aotearoa. We've all done the hard yards to keep COVID-19 at bay. Now's the time if you're 12 and over to get that extra layer of protection. The COVID-19 vaccine is free. There are lots of places to go where you don't need a booking. Visit KARAWHIUA.nz to find Facts Now locations near you. Be Adua, KARAWHIUA.
Tēnā rā tātou e te iwi e te whanau nau mai, hara mai ki TAIOHI aua KARAWHIUA. My name is Drew. I am 25 and I was raised here in Te Hawera. And I whakapapatū ngā te ruanoni ngā ruihine. TAIOHI aua is a show created by TAIOHI for TAIOHI and will explore kaupapa issues that relate to us and our world. So our kaupapa kōrero for tonight is debunking and myth busting. So, before we get into it, I'm going to start off with karakia. Ai. Unihia e te uru tapunui, kia wātea, kia māma, te ngākau i te tinana, te wairua, i te ara takatū, koia rā e rongo, kia wātea. Ai wātea, hau māriri. And now, I'm going to let our lovely pai kōrero introduce themselves. So I'll hand it over to you, Charles.
I don't think Charles
can't hear anything. Oh no.
So I'll go. Charles, can you hear?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. Whoopsie daisy. I missed that whole intro. Go Moerah.
Go Moerah.
Oh, okay. Tauwha lover, my name is Moerah. I am 24 years old from Taranaki, born and bred, and I am Samoan, and I'm happy to be here to do some myth busting with my friends. Next.
I'll go.
Jaz?
Tēnā rā tātou katoa. Ko waio, ko Ngāti Whātua te iwi, ko te uri o hau te hapu, ko Jaz Nathan. My name's Jaz. Originally, my family comes from the far north, and I was born and raised in Taranaki, in Waitara. And I've spent the last 6 years going back and forth between Taranaki and Dunedin because I'm doing my studies towards a law degree at Otago, and you've caught me in the last 3 days of my law degree. And so, yep, that's me.
I think I click out every now and then. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, hello everyone. My name's Atayla Fakavamoeanga. I'm 23 years old. I was born in Otara, Auckland, and moved to Taranaki when I was young, and have lived here ever since. I am also very happy to be here.
Nice.
I hope this works.
You're all good, Charles.
Yeah, my mic keeps going on and off. Sound, I mean.
We can definitely hear you. Oh,
All right, let's get on with busting started, eh? Oh,
yes,
Drew, I forgot about you. Drew.
Oh, do I have to go again? Okay, kia ora. Ko Drew ahau. He uri ahau no ngā ruihine ngā te ruanui me te aroa tainui ngā te kahununu tūhoi. I'm 25 and I'm very happy to be here to do some debunking. And yeah, kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Why was it still on me?
All right, Charles, hit us with some questions.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, because I can only see mouths moving and okay.
Can you not hear us?
So some of the questions that we got on the Toyota page were around breastfeeding and also whether the vaccine was is live. So we'll just go through those. Okay. What are the risks for breastfed babies? Good question. Moerah, you want to come in with some of that?
I've got 2 children that I breastfeed, and I've been fully vaccinated. So I feel like my children are very much still the same. Nothing has affected them. Like, they're pretty cool. They're still pātai, and I don't think it affects them at all, to be honest. Yeah.
What's your advice, Drew? What's your advice, Drew, to other mamas who may be a bit hesitant to get the vaccine?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, you are your baby's protector, right? Like, you will protect your child from running outside and falling over. So why wouldn't you do that? And getting yourself vaccinated and, getting yourself safe so that to ensure that they're safe, and, you can protect them regardless of anything that happens to them. Personally, when my babies are sick, they don't have any medication. They just have straight food. I feel like that's the best way for them to get better, and it is a natural source of medicine and rongoa for them. It is, gold and liquid. So I definitely think that my mouth is like in the light. I definitely think that don't be afraid, because at the end of the day you want to protect your babies. Yeah.
Nice. Right, so I've got one. What was that? Jaz, where were you when you first heard an out the gate theory about COVID, and what was it? Oh, welcome back, Charles.
All is good, everyone.
I'm trying to think of one. Here's my honest thing, is that I think, different circles of people are going to be exposed to different information. And that's one of my kind of biggest thoughts around like COVID myths and stuff like that, is that, you're attracted to one kind of view, so you like it. And then social media does the thing where it just gives you more of stuff that aligns with that kind of thing. And because I don't necessarily engage with that kind of stuff, not to say that I don't think, there's valid points. I haven't necessarily been exposed to it. And so I think, a huge part of people informing themselves is just ensuring that, they recognize that, yes, sure, you might be interested in this view, but it's important to also just at least consider other points of view as well. Yeah.
What about you, Charles? So the question is, where were you when you first heard an out the gate theory about COVID, and what was it?
Well, I'm just going to touch on what Jaz was saying, because I think it's so true. Like, once you have your own kind of like opinion and beliefs, you kind of get stuck in that. So then like everything else, like you're like, nah, you like don't even want to borrow it, you don't want to hear it. So definitely being open-minded is good. But some of the things that I've heard a little bit out the gate, like I think there were things like aborted babies were part of the vaccine. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I
did. You see that? And fetal cells and stuff. So I think it's important for everyone to know that it is not a live vaccine.
Yeah. And how about you, Drew?
I'm the same as Charles and Jaz. Like, I very much was stuck in my own point of view until I was given another point of view, and then I was like, like the right point of view. It kind of just clicked for me. But when it comes to conspiracy theories, I'm the biggest believer in that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was all like, no, man, you're gonna take my babies away. Like, that's what I heard. I heard that they were trying to stop reproduction for 2 generations. Like, crazy stuff in regards to like our tinana and our bodies, and our whare tangata and all of that kind of stuff. I was big like, kind of thing. So that was really my biggest conspiracy theory, and I found that out on TikTok. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, there you go.
Don't believe everything you see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's a good point to make. Like with that being on TikTok, just gonna be add an educational fact here. So TikTok and also Facebook is the only what would you say social media platform that actually checks fact checks. So Facebook actually gets rid of information that's being posted that is misinformation or untrue. And whereas TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram doesn't actually filter it, so there's a fact of the day.
Beautiful.
Lovely to know.
You're welcome.
I might just keep going from that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So one of the conspiracy theories, well, just a normal theory, Ari, the vaccine is that if you are hapu, you'll lose your baby. You know, so many people have said that, and this is all fact, by the way, guys. So I follow Dr. Morgan C. Edwards on Instagram. She's got a lot of, background education. Like she's all checked out and everything. And she is where I went for my own kind of research when I was trying to think about getting the vaccine and making my own decision. So I just thought I would share some little facts from that. So bear with me, everyone. Okay, so here it says that there isn't actually an increased risk of miscarrying or losing your baby. And I know this is a touchy subject, but it's actually a subject that needs to be touched on, as a lot of hapu mama are actually really scared about getting the vaccine. They are uneducated and they don't know the risks or the positives. So I think it's good to know that your feelings are valid, like not knowing what's going to happen, having to trust in, science and everything, and then also trusting what you see on social media, which is a good and bad thing, because obviously you can see the good side, the factual side, and then mostly in all of those posts, all of those comments have a lot of misinformation. So the vaccine doesn't actually cross the placenta, so that is something that is should be well known. And how do we know the vaccine doesn't cross the placenta? We can't study the placentas of pregnant people immediately after vaccination because they're still using them. We have other ways to look at that, and that's showing the rates showing that lipid nanoparticles do not cross the placenta. So there's huge studies around that, and I urge everyone to go to proper websites and not just some Instagram person. Because
awesome.
Yeah, that was my little KŌRERO.
That's a good KŌRERO.
That was very, very informative.
Did we have any? Did we have the other questions?
How do we KŌRERO to our young people about myths and theories? How do we get it across, I suppose, to them in a more
Jaz, you want to take this?
educational way?
From a lawyer's point of view.
Yeah.
Go off,
So-
Jaz.
What was the question? How do we encourage young people to, or how do we talk to them about informing themselves?
If someone came up to you and gave you a myth or something, how would you KŌRERO to them how would you debunk it, pretty much?
I remember when I was like in high school and stuff, and used to obsess over conspiracy theories. And there's something so satisfying about, just hearing about this little kind of secret thing, and you're like, oh wow, like that kind of thing.
Are you talking about the Illuminati?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Love
we
it.
all went there.
We all had a face.
Yeah. And I suppose there's only so much you can do, but me personally, I would just try and encourage keeping an open mind. And it's easier to say to have one than to actually have one, because when you're young, you just want entertainment kind of thing. And conspiracy theories are very entertaining. But yeah, encouraging an open mind, and just kind of gently questioning. Okay, do you want to elaborate on this point and maybe have a think about that, or that kind of thing? And just ensure that that they're having a think about the sources that they're getting their information from, in terms of maybe cross-check what you're hearing with somebody that you trust, or something like that. Yeah, that's my view.
Nice.
And what did you think about the spoon and middle sticking to you?
Oh, I honestly
Not
thought
gonna lie.
No offense, I thought it was dumb.
I seen a few people actually have that, like little.
How about I get the
mechanism.
facts for that one?
Yes, hit us. But also, like body, like it's a little bit sticky sometimes.
Yeah.
No.
So we actually posted this one on our Toyota page. So
I saw
metal
that.
sticks to our skin because of the force of friction, but also due to the natural moisture and oils on our skin. So pretty much sweat. Everyone sweats. So that's pretty much how the metal sticks. So vaccines do not cause magnetism in our bodies.
So consider that debunked.
Done.
Done. Over.
Next.
Next question.
I've got one. So there's one that says apparently spraying chlorine or alcohol on the skin will kill the virus in the body. Thoughts?
Is that the one that Donald Trump said? Is it the bleach one?
No, he said to put bleach inside you. Yeah,
he
Don't
said
do
to
that.
drink it, something like that. Which, please do not do, Fano. Do not do that.
Don't do it.
Wow, Ori.
Any thoughts on chlorine or alcohol on the skin?
Well, really, it's only just going to end up in your bloodstream, isn't it? Once it's absorbed. So if anything, it's going to make it worse.
You probably just burn yourself. Imagine. Maybe don't do
What's
that.
this one? A question from Messenger. 5G and the vaccine.
God.
This one's a funny one. I actually do remember when they were burning down the 5G towers during our first lockdown.
Yeah.
That was quite funny to watch. But in terms of facts, 5G mobile networks do not spread COVID-19 because viruses like COVID-19 cannot travel on radio waves or mobile networks. And COVID was also spread in countries that do not have 5G networks. Give me another mic. Next.
Nice.
Who wants
See,
it?
bud.
Who wants it?
Who wants to
Hit us
smoke?
with another one.
Come get the smoke. Oh, funny.
I think what my number one issue is with debunking is if I see like something from, something that people post on social media and I follow them, I just struggle not to like go off at them. Like, I don't know, is it just me?
Nah.
No, I get that.
Oh, that's another question.
Like, how do you go about it?
I tell you what I do, Moerah. I and this is what I was saying before. Oh, this is just going to sound so bad, but I mute people.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But that's not to say, like I definitely recognize that I understand why some people feel the way that they do, especially when it comes to things like, fear of harm from a vaccine. And the reason I say that is because I also have been super hesitant in the past to get a vaccine. Like I only got my first flu vaccine last year. And the thing that turned me was I was in my job basically was around lots and lots of immunocompromised people. And I was like, well, shit. Oh, excuse me. I don't want to be the one to get these people ill, and they don't have a choice. They rely on people getting the vaccine. And so that was when I was like, okay, and I kind of did my own kind of little research. And then I decided, it's in their interests, whether or not I really want to get the vaccine, it's important to them. Yeah.
Nice.
Can I have a little KōRERO again?
Of course you can.
Okay. I just thought that it's important for everyone to know that your feelings are valid, whether it's anti-vax, pro-choice, pro-jab. But what's not okay is threatening other people and forcing your point of view and your opinions onto other people. That is where it's not the tahi. So I feel like if we can have our own opinions and have our own perspectives, but also keep an open mind for others and let them in, not to persuade you, but just to know that you hear them. I've got so many friends that have just gone into that rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, going stretching right into the government, just pulling out like a whole what's the box? Pandora's box. And it's important to know that your friendships are friendships, and they should be strong, but you shouldn't be forcing your friends to have their persuade them to be like, I'm only going to be your friend if you do this kind of thing. I just feel like we should all support each other, because obviously people are having a harder time than others, but not, go a bit crazy on them.
Yeah. And from that, I actually do, as much as if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm just full on throwing shit out there, facts all the time on my story. But I am actually pro-choice, but not if you're going to be pro-choice and go to a protest that's a super spreader and wear no mask. I don't know. It's just quite hypocritical to me. I'm fully pro-choice, but if you're gonna go and participate in a protest and wear no mask and put other people in danger, it completely disregards all of that. And I'm just
is it really pro-choice?
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
But yeah. Anyway, Hints has a question for us.
Shoot.
What are your thoughts on just live with COVID? Oh gosh. All right, who wants to start this one?
I'll start. Just live with COVID means
go faster.
Let's die by COVID. Let's just die by coronavirus. Let's all live with it after we've, surpassed that 90% vax rate. That's a good time that we can live with it. But letting it just rip through Aotearoa and taking our, immunocompromised people, our people with underlying health conditions, my own grandparents, they both suffer lung diseases. My nana's got lung cancer and my papa has severe asthma. Do people really just think about themselves to the point where they don't care about others? You know, like it's not just about us. It's about everyone and doing our part for those that, you know, can't really do their part. Not because they don't want to, but because they can't. Kia ora. Next.
Yeah.
Can I jump on that one?
Of course.
The reality is that we are going to live with COVID soon. It's coming. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose the choice really then is, you know, protect yourself or not. Yeah, because I mean, you know, I don't know for sure, but in my mind, kind of in 3-4 months' time, it's going to be in the community, and so yeah.
Kind of
like there's no getting rid of it
in the community, because if you don't know, there's the testing that was done in Stratford, and there was COVID in the wastewater, which means it only came from one place, which means somebody in our community has been or got COVID.
Someone's crapping out COVID.
Yeah, so you know what I mean.
Thanks, Moerah.
It is kind of already here. Like, there's a population of 3,000 in Stratford, and only 300 and something have been tested. So, you know, like, ideally, it's already here. You know, like, it's not when or if, it's already here. So, we kind of already are living with it. And it's shitty.
And it's up to us whether we live with it in a hard way or manageable.
Like, just...
But not even beyond that, not just whether we live in a hard way, whether the people around us think of like Nana and your immunocompromised friend, and yes, that.
How are we preparing whānau to live with COVID? Oh, should I say that now? Sorry. We've got a question from Stress Thompson. How are we preparing our whānau to live with COVID? So, what's your plan?
Well, my whole family's vaccinated, so that's our plan.
Yeah, our plan's a little bit different. I mean, there's not much living going on with my whānau if they can't be, you know, 100% sure that they're going to be safe. So really, their reality is pretty much locking themselves down. It's just living at home, you know, and that's not fair, you know. That's why, you know, we need to try our best to make sure everyone's got the right, correct information and are aware of what's happening. Like, we've got people currently protesting for their freedom and their rights. When we've got people that can't even go protest for their freedom and their rights because they're stuck at home with their health conditions, scared to leave. If you have, if you're able to leave the house and not fear for your life,
privilege,
you know, you are already, what's the word? You've already like got it better than so many other people, and that is something that you should be fighting for the other people that can't do that. Not because you feel like your rights are being taken away. There are people that have their rights taken away. You know.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Drew, what about you?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty much the same. If there's no way of living, you know, like if we have to stay home because it's here, well, we're not living. You know what I mean? So I feel like well, we're okay to go out and we're okay to go and do whatever we want. Not what we want, but you know what I mean? Like, we're able to go and put ourselves out there, do the things we want. But I mean, I don't think we really, I don't want to live like Auckland. I don't want to be in lockdown for ages. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. I just finished like stay-at-home mum life, not me. So no, I don't want to live with COVID like that.
Charles, you got this one.
Do cats and dogs spread the virus? Well, I'm not a cat or a dog, so nah. I'm just going to go out on a whim and say no. And then I'm going to hand the mic over to Moerah to confirm that.
Wait, let me look.
Surely not, though.
This time,
Surely
there is
not.
no evidence that animals play a significant role in spreading COVID. Give me a mic. Wait, here's the source. Honestly, guys, just for the people who are, caught up in conspiracies, I literally Googled it and it's the first thing. And it's like, I don't know, I just have a thing for knowing when the website's credible. Just do not trust Wikipedia.
Thoughts on Kmart opening in Auckland tomorrow? Good or bad idea? Should they be opening small businesses like hair salons where it's one-on-one and easier to trace over Kmart where people are already camping out? See, the thing is that this isn't Auckland. This is where majority of the cases are. They're opening up and people are going to be around each other in small confined spaces as well as outside, like a lot of people already have been. And I'm guessing that we're going to get a spike in cases, to be honest. I think it's a bad idea, but obviously not in a position to say that really, because I haven't been locked down in Auckland for the last however many weeks. I mean, if I was, I would be stoked. But when you put it into perspective and think about the aftermath that can come from doing this, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know how they're gonna social distance people in Kmart. I mean, it's Kmart. I go crazy even before COVID, so I don't even know.
And they're already camping out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the government always gives medical advice from people who know what's best. So I trust that they think it's going to be okay then.
I feel like for people's mental health too, it'll be good to get out a bit. But I don't know. I'm not in Auckland, so I can't say that I would be yay! But I'm here and I'm oh, nay.
Yeah, I suppose it's the perspective outside looking in.
Yeah, what this says to me is kind of even though cases basically are continuing to rise in Auckland, the government kind of seems to be determined to just kind of keep taking steps in relaxing restrictions. And so that to me kind of says it's time, it's time to just kind of start, relaxing the restrictions and that kind of stuff. And that's why I think it's important that, it just kind of highlights COVID is going to be in the community soon.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
Thank you for your pātai, Megan.
Thank you, Megan.
Oh, I should probably mention too that we have all of the questions. Oh, sorry, no. We are taking questions, but we will pick a random winner. And this week our prize is a Waiapu Road giveaway. And it's the Ahuru board, manifest mug, mana Māori, earrings, candle, and Towels will snap up with some mean as binders from Foxy Financials too.
Yeah, Foxy.
So I thought I'd just add that in before I forgot. Sorry.
Can we enter?
Do we get a free one for being on the show with you?
Maybe.
Support small businesses.
Support small businesses.
Pakehi Māori whānau.
Yes.
Support.
All right, I've got a question. Do you feel like there is enough information for TAIOHI regarding COVID-19?
No.
No.
Carl.
Jazz, go Jazzy.
This is what I was saying before. There's too much.
Oh,
There's too much tickle going around. No,
Yeah.
no, but yeah, I agree. There's not enough. Yeah, I think something that would really appeal to young Māori and Pacifica are real conversations. Do you know what I mean? And it's like young people are hearing the same information over and over again. Yes, we get that, it's important to look out for our elderly. And yes, we get that some people are immunocompromised, but even then, for some reason, that's not enough. And so they're just kind of like, okay, and so I think that KōRERO like this, where we strive to ask kind of the real questions and just provide, information from a point of view of people who experience kind of vaccine hesitancy, like myself, like I was saying before. I think that is conversation that's adding something different to what's already being heard over and over again.
Yeah.
And also like doing it ourselves, so they're kind of hearing it from they're kind of hearing it from like their own peoples kind of thing. We're not we're kind of following like a script on like how the night's going to go, but we're not being told what to say. We're not being we don't
just
have
speaking from the heart.
Guidelines that we don't have questions we're avoiding. We just like an open book, and we're here to listen to you guys, like everyone, but we're also here to share our own opinions and our own like struggles with everything, and also just here for whoever needs it,
I have a question too. Are we the only country that uses the Pfizer vaccines, or like are we using different vaccines to everybody else in the world?
No, mostly all countries are using Pfizer, except for Australia. They had their own vaccines, but I think they're using Pfizer.
They're using Pfizer and a couple others, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like nanotech or something.
But yeah. Oh, another question from Megan. Jaz, you want to read this one out?
Megan says, I work in recruitment, and it's actually awesome to see that all the 16 and 17-year-olds we currently have working are fully vaxxed. They're doing it for their grandparents and younger siblings who may not be able to. Woohoo! That's awesome to hear.
Shot Fano.
Yeah.
I might just quickly touch on that. So in the high schools and stuff, high school students, social media, TikTok, Instagram, that's where they are getting all of the misinformation. That's where they, reading this stuff and developing their own opinions, and then sticking with that mindset and thinking everything else is BS. So I'm thinking maybe like, how are we going to change that? How are we going to make people feel like they're not being like, conned into something? Because obviously you guys would have noticed that everyone was like, it's bribery, the mandates are BS, no freedom, I don't have any rights, and like that is what's going on in like all of social media, like literally all of the New Zealand Herald comments, the News Hub comments, just straight flooded with people so against the vaccine and so, reluctant to get their family vaxxed, get their, friends. And you'll actually notice that a lot of them are Māori or Pacific Islander. So, from there, like, how are we going to help? Like, what can we do?
Yeah, I definitely think the wrong way to go about talking to them is like trying to convince them with all these facts. like showing them like you're wrong, this is all the true stuff, and just actually sitting down with them and just having a kōrero, like asking like what are your reasons, why are you hesitant, and just having a chat with them about it. I'm still trying my best to do that. But yeah, I honestly think that's probably the right way to go about it. It's just having a chat to them, because if you just throw like facts at them, they're not going to listen. They're just going to think you're trying to convince them. And it's not a fast overnight change. It's something that
it's definitely a process.
Yeah, it is. And I get why they have trust issues. I mean, there's not that much credible information out there for them to read. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
We've got a question in.
Go, Charles.
With the traffic light system in place soon, your thoughts on solutions for our Māori and Pacifica health support networks having to cater to a very diverse and divided community? It's clear there are people that will refuse the vaccine. I think the way that we need to go about all of this stuff is building trust, because obviously there's been a huge breakdown between whether it's Māori and government, obviously all the stuff that's happened in the past with the Crown. Like you can see where the mistrust, like you can literally see it. Like you know how they're feeling. They're feeling like it's all happening over again. They're being told what to do. They're being told what they can't do. And those feelings are valid. Like you're allowed to feel like that. But also you need to remember that we, Māori and Pacifica, are also a community. We are our own people.
We are at risk.
When we look for and we are at risk. Like most of the
most of the cases of
Māori are Māori or Pacifica.
Exactly.
And so it's either we work together or we continue to work against each other, as well as having the government like feeling like the government's working against you as well. There's just like a huge breakdown, and we just need to rebuild that trust. And start small. We can start with people our own age, our rangatahi, and then talk with our elders. It's all a trust thing, and you can't blame them, because obviously a lot of stuff has happened.
And going on from that, I'd just like to say, if you decide to get the vaccine, it doesn't mean you support the government or the whatever party's in position. You just get the vaccine for yourself and for your family.
KōRERO.
You might as well be somebody that's giving out freebies. Nah.
And for the KFC.
I 100% agree with Tals with what you were saying. I think this kind of the situation basically reflects a really long kind of period of mishaps trauma by the Crown. Pretty much. And it is a trust thing. You're 100% right. Because and I grew up in Waitara, and I don't know, man, like sometimes you can really feel super removed from like Crown funded things, or like basically Waitara doesn't really get nice stuff. New Plymouth gets it all, and then Waitara's just like left to kind of fend for themselves, and so I definitely get that there's people around Taranaki that are just like, why would I trust the vaccine or who it's coming from?
Nice.
Yep.
Anyone else have a question? Okay, I've got one. How do you think we might KōRERO to young... Oh, no, we've already done that one. Do you think young people go to or like going to their doctor? Why or why not?
No. Speaking from my own experience, hated going to the doctors. Always hated them. Always wanted my mum to come with me. Wanted my mum to do the talking for me. There's a lot of people that have like anxiety from that. So many people feel racially profiled. Like, and they feel like they're not getting the help they need. And also, there's like a lot of people that don't even go because they're too stubborn to go. So
Yeah.
Wait, what was
How
it?
do you think we can encourage our rangatahi to go and seek advice from their doctor?
Well, they can start by maybe using Healthline first. I feel like that's always a really good start by like doing something. Like over the phone isn't usually as hard as in person. So if like you want advice, Healthline will definitely be a start.
Yeah.
But other than that, ask your friend to come with you.
Take a group. Get them on that Ed, and they all go around, and the aunties go and pick all the aunties up, and they go get their breast screen.
Yes.
Do that. Go jump in Sal's van, and we'll all go to the doctors. Nah.
I think this actually speaks to the trust thing again. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, oftentimes people don't really have that relationship with health providers, and that's not their fault. You know, it just as a failure on the health provider, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think that's why we need more Māori and Pacifica doctors. Go to med school.
Do the hard work for us.
So easy.
Yeah. But you know, yeah.
Go get your scholarships.
I know. Right, we've got another pātai here. Do you want to read this one, Drew?
Sure. Your thoughts on the impact social media has had on the pandemic, whether it has been fake news and misinformation or vaccine promotion. It seems people are having trouble filtering and fact-checking the multiple sources available online. Good question.
Yeah.
It's not like it's real easy just to distinguish what's fake and what's, you know, credible. Like, it took me a while. I mean, I had to go to uni to be able to understand it. So I get why people are falling in the rabbit holes.
Yeah,
like, I get
it as well.
All this information out there, and it's accessible to them. And yeah, I think it's real shitty though. Anyone else? Someone back me up.
I think we touched on it earlier, eh? Yeah, and I think encouraging people to just cross-check their information as much as they can, or speak to somebody that they trust. Yeah. But consider speaking to someone that you trust outside of, you know, the circle that generally entertains the one opinion. You know, get multiple points of view if you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
And don't believe everything you see, even on TikTok.
Even you know, the stuff that is supposedly credible, it's right to question that. But you should also question the weird stuff, the other stuff. Question everything, you know? Yeah.
And it's good to question things.
Yeah.
That's how you learn. Agreed.
I caught a level. Oh shit.
Do you think South Taranaki gets the same support as North Taranaki?
Yep. Oh.
Are you from South Taranaki, Drew?
I'm in the south.
Oh, nice.
South.
What are your thoughts?
I definitely feel like our iwis, Ngāti Rongoe Ngaruhine, have done a great job at combining and working together and collaborating. So we've had heaps of marae, pop-up clinics. We have a lot of support, you know, and there's no like.
Auntie Debbie's been coming to work with you guys, eh?
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah,
like
cool.
You know, we've had Moerah Feaunati, Auntie Deb there. So we've had a lot of awhi and support. We've had what are they, mobile mobile clinics where our whānau have gone to the people that can't get out of their wharis and can't get out. We've had that, and we also have our other whānau who go and pick people up and bring them, especially for our pop-up clinic, so that, you know, it gives everybody it's kind of a cool opportunity to get everyone together and go to the pā and just have a cool kōrero, get a shot, have a kai, go home. So we definitely have lots of support down here in regards to, north and south. I think, we work together, you know. We all one. We're not north and south, we all one, so we all collaborate.
So if you had a message for people in South Taranaki who are on the fence or wanting to go and get the vaccine, what would you say?
Come and have a kōrero. You know, that's the only way you're going to be able to get your vaccine and get your whakaaro, is just to come and have a kōrero. Even if it is just to come and have a kai and sit down. I'm not going to lie, that's what I did. I went to the pā, had a kai, had a kōrero, and then I was like, alright, go. Kind of thing.
What about the people that have already been vaccinated? Do we get some kai?
You're not the only one. Like, just come for a kai. Hey, come and have a kōrero. It is just pretty much like a pop-up walk-in to the doctors, but you're walking into the pā that, I don't know, you might see a cousin you haven't seen in a couple of months, so you want to come down and have a chat, and, you know? So, definitely feel like just have voice your opinion, voice what you need to in a really safe space. And like things like this help, I feel, help rangatahi. No, not only everybody has got their own account.
Yeah.
But it's important that you matter as well. There's only one of you.
Nice. And how about you, Jaz? I know you're in Dunedin. How's the vaccine rollout been down there?
We're leading the country. We're like top 3 or something like that. But I tell you what, we had really awesome response from Māori and Pacifica health providers down here, and they led They led for everyone, the student population, which is some like 20,000-30,000 people. They led the whole rollout. And so they hired out this huge stadium here called Forsyth Bar. Huge. And then there was like maybe 300 seats. And this was at the start of level 4. This year's lockdown. Yeah, and they had like tunes bumping all day, and it was really sunny, and they were handing out sausages and blah blah blah. So that was really cool. Yeah, we're doing it.
It sounds like really inviting as well.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And you know, like me, like I was saying before, I still had the same hesitancy. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm here because I feel like I need to get it for the people that I love. You know, and the reality is I don't necessarily care to get the vaccine or want it, you know, but I'm like, I know that there's people that need me to get it. Anyway, so I'm experiencing my own anxiety and that kind of stuff. And just to kind of see familiar faces around the room and having really good tunes bumping, you know, helped a lot. It was cool.
Oh, I love that.
That's like an experience that we should try and encourage to get for other people to have.
Yes, highly recommend.
Hello.
Hey, Foxy.
Okay. He said, in time for the giveaway.
Right, another pātai here. Off topic, during this pandemic, what were your lockdown TV or movie binge watches? That's a good one. Drew, what's yours?
Oh, okay. So I'm so over like normal American Netflix. Like that doesn't cut it for me. I watch Turkish series.
On YouTube?
And oh my, well, I was watching on YouTube, and then I couldn't watch like the rest of my season on YouTube. So I found this website. It's called Turkish 123 for those of you who are Turkish series lovers. And I found like, and they're so good. They're 2-hour long ones. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, cool. How about you, Jaz?
I honestly struggle to watch a full episode of anything. Like, I have a very short attention span. So me during lockdown, you probably find me watching Fortnite videos or I can't really think of what else I was doing in lockdown. What was I doing? Oh, or like workout videos, because I needed inspiration to keep myself going.
How about you? What about you, Moerah?
What did I watch? I don't know. I was working mostly in lockdown, but I watched Friends probably for like the 10th time. I just love Friends.
Yeah, I need to get into that.
Have you seen it, Jaz?
Yeah, I grew up watching it, like as I'm sure we all did. But I mean, I haven't rewatched it. I did watch the reunion as soon as it came out.
Ah, yes.
I cried when Rachel and Ross, like the real people, I've forgotten their names. I don't know. When they were saying, "Oh yeah," because she was dating Brad Pitt during the show. But,
oh my god!
She was saying, and she was saying how she actually, like they did actually love each other, and I was like, "Oh hell, oh no."
So her and Ross were actually crashing on each other in the first season, and we didn't know until the reunion.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
My dad's
anyway.
Anyway.
Oh god.
I think Charles has gone off. I don't think we have any other questions. Did anyone else have any last thoughts, advice for our young rangatahi?
One of the main themes that I've come across, and this isn't necessarily like a conspiracy theory, is people are just scared, they're scared of the side effects, and they're scared that they'll be kind of that 0.01% that has the bad reaction. The thing I want to say to that is, if the vaccine was to trigger something, there's a very small chance that it'll do that. But the fact is that COVID is way more likely to trigger that same reaction. That's my final word.
I love that. And like going off that, I mean, everyone's going to have a different reaction to the vaccine. So, I honestly feel bad for people who have had like really bad reactions from it, but that's not necessarily going to be your story. So like that shouldn't put you off from continuing your research about the vaccine and getting it. But yeah, that's my last thoughts.
Go, Drew.
Fine. My last thought. Just KŌRERO. I mean, like I've said, there's only one of you, and you matter. You are important. Okay, there's so many people in this world that love you and want you here for a long time. Not a good time. My thoughts are, if you are, afraid or whatnot, seek out to your whānau and your friends, the people that have got it. We're all open books. I mean, we're pretty sure we'll be happy to share our experience and our story with you. So, yeah, kia kaha. Kia kaha, i te whānau, kia kaha.
Hold up.
Also, I had one more question. What are your guys' thoughts on everyone saying that the government is dividing us, or that there is a divide between people who are vaccinated and not vaccinated?
I feel like, again, it's being put out there. If you get the vax, you can do this. You don't, stay home. kind of thing. So I think that's where the divide's coming in, and everyone's like, well, if you've got the vaccine and you're going out and you're doing this, you might come back to me and give it to me and my family, kind of thing. So I think that's maybe where it's, the divide. But I don't agree on it at all. I feel like we should just one another. Aye, awhi. At the end of the day, we're all whānau, we're all here on this earth to do what we are here to do. So just awhi each other, And manaki and poipoi is all I have to say about that.
I definitely recognise kind of where that idea or that feeling comes from, that we're being divided. My thoughts on it. I recognise that it's a thing. But I mean, another way of looking at it is that we're 90% united.
Exactly. Love that.
Hey, but I think it, there's so many factors that are playing into it, and again, it's like the trust thing, people feel like they're kind of being shafted for, wanting to make their own choice, and that's a totally valid feeling in my mind. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I just encourage people, to keep an open mind, and that yes, you've got one point of view, but just have a think about considering other ones too. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Moerah?
All right, Drew. So we have 2 things to give away, I believe. Oh, my thoughts. Look, I definitely see that there is a divide. I 100% see it. But I'm coming from my perspective. I think like that's your choice if you don't want to get vaccinated, and if there's obviously consequences, like you can't do things, and so if you make that choice, then it comes with the consequences. But that's just like the reality of that's just. I get where they're coming from, though. It's a crappy time. Like, it's such a weird time to be alive right now.
Yeah.
But the one thing I don't like, though, is when people are referring to it as segregation. Like, please, no. Let's not go there. It is not segregation.
Yeah. I really disagree when people compare it to, and I hate to go here, but Nazi Germany. No. And it's disrespectful, actually, to the millions of people that lost their lives, and okay, the state is making rules that apply to a lot of people, but no one is being discriminated against for things that are out of their control. Do you know what I mean? And so can we stop doing that, please?
Because as far as I'm concerned, you guys are pretty much free walking the streets protesting. So let's not go there. We'll save that for another conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe we have some Foxy financial giveaways. Drew?
Yes, we do. We're going to draw a winner. How are we doing that?
I think there's one for North and one for South.
Oh, yes. One for North, Source and South. One for North, one for South. How we picking our winner?
We'll pick from whoever asked us questions. So we'll probably announce it on the Toyota story.
Yes.
Coolies. So we'll pick a winner who was on our live asking us some good pātai, and we will announce it, draw it tonight. Yeah.
Oi.
Drew, did you want to close us off with a karakia?
Sure. So I'd just like to thank everybody in Tals, Jazzy, Moerah and Tals, and our techies who are doing our tech. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in to our TAIOHI hour and us some really cool questions.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my child, sorry. So yeah, ngā mihi whānau. Get your shot, KARAWHIUA, get your dot, whatever it is. Anyway. Have a lovely evening. E te whānau. And yes. Ki runga.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Ki waho. Pire rira. Kwa marire.
Ka kite.
Kia kaha Aotearoa. We've all done the hard yards to keep COVID-19 at bay. Now's the time, if you're 12 and over, to get that extra layer of protection. The COVID-19 vaccine is free. There are lots of places to go where you don't need a booking. Visit karawhiua.nz to find Facts Now locations near you. He adua, KARAWHIUA.